My name is Errol Stevens, former international player and reggae boy, and you're watching Elite Sports TV, Ryan, LFC. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date to get the latest content on the Reggae Boys football. Bless.
Hey guys, it's Jermaine Clark Jr. here from Bayern Roll Squad 2023. You're watching Elite Sport TV with Ryan LFC. Stay tuned for all things reggae girls, reggae boys, and sports.
I am Liam Bailey, and you're watching Elite Sports TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. Enough respect.
Hey guys, Bunny Shaw here with Elite Sports TV. Make sure you like and subscribe and always tune in.
Island Best Juice. What are you waiting on? Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Island Best Juice. It's your boy, Ryan LFC, representing for Island Best Juice. If you are in the United States and you not try Island Best Juice, what you waiting on? Look at these beautiful flavor. Why not? If you are in Tampa, if you are in Florida, if you not drink Island Best Juice, you not drink the juice. It's your boy Ryan LFC, representing for Island Best Juice, the best juice in Florida. What you waiting on? Anyway, across the United States, Island Best Juice can find you. If they find me and me all the way in Canada, why not? Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere they are. Island Best Juice. Subscribe now to Elite Sports TV. Viewers and subscriber, Jamaica beat the British Virgin Islands 1-0. People, awful performance. But big up to them, Gray. Beautiful score inside the box. Warner Brown. What a season Warner Brown has right now. Hot on the garden and continue scoring for Jamaica. Big up Warner Brown. Beautiful score inside the box. Demari Gray latch on with a beautiful header by Warner Brown. People, trust me. People, the game was terrible. The game remind me of this by our former coach. Terrible game, people. Terrible game. And yes, people, the pitch was half full. The pitch was half full, but no, man. No excuse, man. The players, them, they need to get beaten, man. But guess what? It was a poor performance, but what really matter is getting the 3 points. We move. We have another big game versus Guatemala, a must-win game at National Stadium. We have to get it right.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know. And we did.
We need to start to lock.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know. And we did.
We need.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know. And we did.
So yeah, people, the game was terrible game. Not one player can leave them head high after that poor performance by the team. But we're going to analyze it, we're going to break down, and we have none other coach Boris Johnson help us to break down the game and how we can improve and get better in the next game, okay? Big up to all of the people in the comment section. People, stop what you're doing and hit the like button. People, calm down, drink some water. We're not going to kill the players them, but we're going to look at how we can improve to better the team and give us a better opportunity going forward. Alright? Coach Boris Johnson, good evening, man. Welcome to the show, Coach. Back again, Coach.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. I mean, it's and to me, it's nothing to smile about. But watching the game, one of the things I think the coaching staff and the players need to understand their responsibility. and to take fully charge of their responsibility. I mean, if you need support where the World Cup campaign is concerned, performance like this is not going to help you. So I think that's one of the biggest they have to take from this. I mean, the players themselves, when they sit back and within themselves, they should see this performance as a day off because this is totally unacceptable based on the level of players we have and the real objective. The reality of where we sit in the group now, we sit in second. And we put ourselves now in a must-win situation in terms of Guatemala. Not to say we can't beat Guatemala, but when you look at this performance, if we should ever repeat this performance again, then I think we'll be in serious problem. For me, the main objective and the players have to understand what is the focus, what is the objective, and those have to from a coaching standpoint, those have to be clear point of view that players know before even the start of the game, before even the start of the trip, get into BVI. What is the objective? What is it we expect? What is it we're looking for? I mean, when you watch the game, you could see that there was not much in terms of expectation from the players, from the coaching staff. I mean, a game of this nature for me, it will be straight on the board. Guys, we have to finish this game within the first 20 minutes. And anything below a 3-0 score line would definitely be a failure for me. I mean, when you look at the intensity of the game, these players have to understand that consistency is the big C and is what count when it comes on to professional football. I mean, if I was sitting watching as some of the coaches that coach a team that these guys is looking to come back to in terms of the League One or Saudi Arabia, I would be starting to think different, because when you look at the level of intensity in the game today, it was 0 to none. Now, when you look at the focus and what is the objective of the game, you could see clearly that it was just all we need to do is not lose the game. Now, I'm saying you can't be playing in a team or in a system that need financial support, that trying to get spectators or fans on board to support you in the campaign. And this is the sort of performance you give. I mean, it's a no-no for me. And anybody watching this game would now be in a situation where are we going to be qualifying? This performance like this setting more doubts for the fans and for people that want to invest in the football. Now, as I said before, players and coaching staff have to take responsibility. If this is what you're gonna give me as a fans to say this is the performance, come and support, it's a no-no for me. If this is what I'm seeing as somebody that would like to invest in the football, it's a no-no. And they have to take responsibility. Now, you can blame a lot of factors. You can say, well, it was raining. You can say, well, the field. And we can blame all those factors. But I even with the rain, the size of the pitch, the condition of the pitch, when you look at the intensity of the players, you realize. Now, my experience, and I can say this, if players and coaching staff is going to satisfy for performance like this, if they feel satisfied, hey, we beat BVI 1-0, and they are satisfied with performance like this, going into a Guatemala game or going into the next stage of the qualifier, this is not accepted. This is not accepted. And this no way, shape, or form. Anybody watch this game today would know having more doubts than probably they have before, and more concern. The players and the staff have to realize, regardless of the pitch, yeah, they play on smaller pitch before. They play on pitch probably pretty much similar condition. Now, we're not saying that everything is perfect and everything is going to go right. Based on the field, we know BVI will drop in a low block. Based on the field, we know the speed of the pass in terms of the grass will automatically slow down the game. But when you look at the intensity of the players, I mean, I'm yet to see one player on the pitch today that decide, you know what, we need to win this game by at least 3-0. So at least getting into the game against Guatemala, now we have to do more work. And for Guatemala, the game now against Guatemala becomes a game that is win at all costs. Because what happens, we don't beat Guatemala, we don't finish on top of the group, then we're not one of the seeded teams. So therefore, we can end up in a group where probably 2 or 3, or we go end up in a group that there's already a seeded team, which is not a comfort. It's definitely not a comfortable situation to put yourself in. These guys have to take responsibility. Where's the pride? When it comes on to the game, where is the pride? Where is the big C? Consistency. And this is the problem that we're having. We're not knocking any player individually, but we are saying it's going to take a level of consistency in how we play to take us to the World Cup. It's going to take a level of pride in how we play and how we approach the game to take us into the World Cup. Now, I'm waiting to hear the press conference to see what was basically even the objective of the game, or even going into the game. What was the thought process?
Honestly, coach, I have to agree with every single thing that you said about the players' performance. It seems like, oh, we're going to play against a smaller team, so we don't have to raise our level. That's this World Cup qualifier. That's what scared me the most. Not the big team, the US and the Canada and the Mexico, not there. But we already know that they will perform when they play against a bigger opponent. But the smaller team will look so terrible when they play against a smaller team, and it can't happen.
Understand what that does. Yeah. If Guatemala sit and watch this game and analyze it and realize, oh, this is how they play against Guatemala, what do you think that do for Guatemala? It gives them a level of confidence now to say, you know what, we haven't seen much. We haven't seen they display anything that we could approach the game with any level of fear. So it gives them the opportunity now to just come and play.
Yeah. And what worry me, we cannot break down team. The more we have the ball, Jamaica not good with possession of the ball. The more we have the ball, and the more we make mistake and look terrible. We pass the game slow. We start to take more touches off the ball. The more time you get Jamaica to think, and the more they do bad stuff. So we have to fix that, coach.
For me, yeah. It's not so much possession, because when you look at the game today, I mean, BVI at no point in time was going to play a high press game.
Yeah.
They were always going to try and sit back in a low block and then try to catch us on the counter. So yeah. we from jump start, you will always have a little bit of time and space on the ball. But how we utilize that, how quickly we get into those space, how quickly we move the ball around. When you look at the off the ball movement, it's static. It's static. Everybody moves vertically. There's no point in the game that you could say at least you see one in terms of a triangular movement to create space so we can get behind. Now, as I said, the players have to take responsibility. The coaching staff has to take responsibility for these performances. The change room should sit now and look at this to say, guys, they're fooling around. They're fooling around, because when teams like the Guatemala, the Honduras, when they see these sort of performance, it only give them more to come and play against us. We're not sending any message to say, you know what, this is what's going to happen when you see the black, green, and gold. We're not sending that message no more. And I'm still believe we have enough quality in the players. We have enough quality in terms of the coaching staff, but what I'm seeing now in this game, it's clearly a lack of pride. And pride in how you play the football. And not only lack of pride, but a lack of consistency. When you look back to this game, to the game we play against Nigeria, to the game we play against Trinidad, it's such a short window. Yeah, people might say they are different players, but actually 75% of these players just coming from the Nation Cup. So with a short span of time, we're not being consistent. when you look at the intensity, oh my God, it's too low. It's too low.
Yeah. We have a caller, coach. Caller, good evening. Boom, boom. Big up yourself, Royal Boom Selector. Big up yourself. Enough love and respect. Special edition, big up yourself. You don't know. Boom, boom. Big up yourself, brother. Artist, salute, you know. Statsman. Big up yourself, you know. Big up yourself, artist. Enough respect. Thanks for being here. Come on, people. Stop what you're doing and hit the like button. We are going to take some phone call because we want to keep the fans involved to voice them opinion and thing. We're going to get to all the topics and stuff. But Carla, welcome to the show. Good evening.
Yes, man. Respect. Good evening to you and to the court, Mr. Johnson. So here's the thing. The first thing, congratulations to the team because they win the game. And maybe another win what we want, you know, because, you know, the whole way they expect a good 6-0, 7-0, but, you know, come that way. But here's the thing. There's a whole heap of things for factor. And a caller earlier said the same thing. The feel not good, the condition not good, the element or the temperature against the player them. So the coaching staff and everybody, they prepare for the Guatemala game. So everybody knows that they might go out there. They know that they have the game in their bag. They want to score more, yes, but they might play with the focus, you know, so they're already qualified out of this group here to go in. Yes, we want to go as a top seed when we finalize this around here. But the bottom line is the performance we see tonight and a Jamaica best. And the reason for that, you all see the field not good. You all see the condition is against them. So everybody are play with a bit of caution. And I like them not have a plan, but them plan to go out there and play, dominate the game, because Jamaica have about 86% of the play. So they dominate the game, but at the same time they might play cautious because they know what they might go toward come against Guatemala. That's where you're going to see the big game. So me not the team right now. Me not the coaching staff. Me congratulate them for the win, and we go look for the big game come the Guatemala team so we can top the group and then we can seed in a better round in the next round when they come by. So big up to the Jamaican fans, big up to the team. Enough respect, Mr. Ryan, for what you do.
Yeah. Coach, we're going to take some more and then we'll get back to you, okay?
Yeah.
Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show. Live on here. Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show. Carla. Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, what going on?
I'm doing good, man. How are you, man?
But there, man, I went ahead and bunny out, you know. You remember? You hear me?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man. Big up, coach. At least the coach honest. One thing me I say, Ryan, what me tell you say that night, you probably don't remember still. Me say, don't get carried away. Did I not tell you that? Don't get carried away.
I remember you.
Are you happy with today's game?
No, I said it. I said it that in the intro. I'm disappointed, man. The performance was really terrible, man.
What did you agree with the lineup? Be honest, Ryan.
I would say yes, but based on we are looking at giving other players opportunity, right, and looking forward for that Guatemala game. So I think the lineup was a good lineup. I see the intent of the coach, but the performance, Brechin, the lineup is one, but as what Coach Barrett said, the players didn't perform to their ability.
Bro, they were lackluster, brother. We not see them, nobody not take on nobody. It's like we not attack, me no see no creativity, me no see anything, bro, nothing. Me say Fast and Dixon, see that them get them there, you know. Them not going with nothing. That's what I was saying, you know. Don't get carried away, but we watch them and see. Because these things what we do on YouTube, we get to them head, you know. Cause them tuning in, you know, and I tell you get to them head, you know. You understand what I say? I think a lot of times when big teams have players out there, what they do, them go out there and them shine on me and you watch the games them off and I wait for them put them back out there and the coach just put them out there cause what? Them will make them learn. You understand what I say? Wait, when you get the opportunity, you take it. But what happens when we give these hype? What we do, bro? We make them feel entitled,
but none of them alone, bro. The whole team.
Give me one of them alone. Me get that, but me just want you to see that so we don't get carried away again. You understand what I say? I'm not here. Me not here right now. I push no player agenda, right? But I saw a difference when Leon Bailey come on. You understand me? I say a whole lot of selfish thing go on. Bro, we could have scored so many goals within the last 15 minutes of the game. And we didn't because of selfishness, brother. Me don't know why, bro. We're not playing together as a team. Me know if them just hungry and because them not feel like, yo, me not get enough opportunities, so me get so me I go try a thing and try. I don't know what it is, bro, honestly. Last thing me I go say, I still don't know why Damian Lowe is playing as a 6. Me don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why the other you Lati Body here are playing at the midfield. Why the coach just can't put him a right back? Help me understand that. I don't know why.
Ravel Morris, why the coach still keep looking past
Ravel?
Ravel?
Bring him and him can't give him a game. You have the two creative players them on the bench. You have Casey and you have Ravel on the bench. That is so weird. I thought we were building chemistry. Me don't know what happened, brother. Honestly, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, the coach have to take some stick for that, you know?
What you mean, man? I go on to you, man. Bless up yourself, right?
Bless up, man. Bless up, bless up, bless up.
Cool.
Yeah, coach. Carla, welcome to the show. Carla, welcome to the show.
Hey, big up Ryan. Boyz Johnson, big up to you too. I have a question to the coach. I just want to ask him if him think the quality of the pitch actually contribute to the performance of the boys this afternoon.
For me, I would say yes, and then it's not so much. It's one of the contribution factor because understand the surface on the grass, it automatically slows down the game in terms of the speed of the pass and all that stuff. However, and then it's a smaller pitch, but my thing is, the moment we get into BVI, I think we would have understand what is it we're gonna play on and prepare for it. So I'm not going to use the pitch to say the pitch is an excuse. Because if you look at the time we get into BVI, I think we get into BVI 3 or 4 days before the game.
Okay. You know what I have to say about that too? If you notice in Jamaica, most of our field that we have in the Premier League, it's a hard watch. Especially like in the United States here to watch it. It's a hard watch because of the quality of the field. So that field is not a field to play football, and so you're never getting a good football. These players, most of these players are players that play on good pitches and stuff like that. You're not gonna get a good performance from them. You understand? And this pitch about this, yeah. If you get all the Hurricanes and from England and all these guys, Cristiano Ronaldo and all these guys, and put them on that pitch, you're going to see the same thing. You're not going to have the good performance. So I think the pitch have a lot to do with it. So we can't really judge them.
Don't get me wrong, Connor.
Sorry.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're not judging. These are factors that we take into consideration. The field, the environment, the weather, all of that, take in consideration.
Yeah. So we cannot judge them.
What I'm saying is,
go ahead.
I would think we would get into BVI to see where we're playing the game and try and make the necessary adaptation. Now, I don't want to sit here and believe that we're waiting for the better teams to play better. I don't want to believe that. So I agree with you in terms of the field. I know the field. The grass is different, so it's going to slow down the ball. That's the reality of it. But there's certain aspect of the game, and if I should ask you, when you look at the intensity of the game, it's not the same. It's not the same that you saw in the Nation Cup.
The Unity Cup.
The Unity Cup.
Unity Cup. So those are factors. If I see the same intensity, I can say, well, the surface take away most of in terms of how we want to play, in terms of a passing game. I can understand.
Right.
But when I don't see the intensity like what I saw in the Unity Cup.
Right.
I don't want to sit here and think my team is going to play better or we're waiting to play better when we play the better teams. We have to show the weaker team that this is who we are and this is what we do. So I would say for me, the players, the coaching staff, they have to look at the performance of this game. And for me, I think one of the biggest factors there has to be some level of pride. I mean, I don't expect 100% every day, but there has to be a standard. Either you don't go below 80 or you don't go below 90. There has to be a standard. And football is consistency. Now, you leave spectators and administrator in doubt to wonder. Now, I'm sitting here wondering if it's the same group of guys in the Unity Cup. Now, we can give and take for the field, but I'm saying you have get into BB, you know, you have see the condition, you have see where the game is. So, for me, we just didn't make the adjustment. We just didn't play with intensity. We just didn't play with enough pride. And we are satisfied in terms of beating VV 1-0 and move on.
Right, just move on to the other one. And appreciate it, your honesty, and appreciate it. So that's that's my little 2 cents there. So Ryan,
it's just for them to look at the performance and realize they have a responsibility. They're trying to get fans on board. They're trying to convince the fans to say, come and sit in the stadium, full the stadium. Now this sort of just not gonna pull up. And that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Blessing Carla, enough respect here.
Yeah man, bless up, Coach Coach, bless up yourself too.
Blessings.
Coach, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Ryan. Coach, how you doing?
Good, Coach Pescassi.
Yeah, man. So, my thoughts. Remember, Ryan, pre-match, we told you if when I saw the lineup, I thought they had a plan of attack against a bunker team, and I said you needed a Romario Williams or some big target man. Did you notice the change when William Bailey and Williams came on?
Different, where him come and hold up the ball and bring and get involved in the game.
Now, once again, some of the Jamaican ballers have to understand when they play for the national team, it's different when they play for the club team. I was very disappointed with Romario Williams. He could have set up Leon Bailey for a good one, and then Dixon with the toe poke could have passed to one of his teammates. You understand? When they waste chances to score on a national team level, you're disappointed. It's not like a club team where you're playing for your own paycheck. So I didn't like the fact that we were not playing target man football, which means the second ball. It looked like BVI won 90% of the second balls. But instead of Jamaica bombarding them with long balls and crosses into the area, overwhelming them with work, our back 3 defenders were playing tiki-taka back in with the 3 of them and not put no pressure on them and lower the intensity of the match. Instead of just really going direct football like them and they would bend and break. But we were satisfied with that, And then our players have to be, once again, we talked about scoring against BVI, it's nothing to beat your chest about. We needed the points for this group here, and you should have squared the ball, Romario. You should have passed the ball, Dixon, and some other ones like that. So that's my thoughts on it. Just like, again, we weren't prepared for the opponent that we were playing and the style they were playing. They were going to low block. We should have been ready for that, to defend a low block. But
coach, and Coach Boris Johnson, we all know what the opposition going to come with. We know, the coach know, but not enough empathy and the preparation for the midfield. The midfield still is the problem.
Oh, I'm saying not only I wouldn't break it down into a particular position. I'm saying we get into VBI, we assess where the game is going to play because more likely they have a training session there.
Yeah.
Probably 1 or 2. Now I'm saying, what is the objective on the board within the first 45 minutes? You see?
Yeah.
Not only what is the objective, where is the pride in terms of the players? Where is the level of consistency that you're trying to sell us as fans? These are some of the factors that both coaching staff and players have to start looking to. Because the reality of it, it's good to know that we get a result, but we haven't played. We haven't played, and if any of these players can come and tell me that, oh, we played today. I mean, today is also a mere day off. It's a mere day off. If they're satisfied with this performance, then I don't think they're on the right path if they're satisfied with a performance like this. And if you ask 95% of the players, they will tell you, we get the result, but we're not really satisfied with the performance. So I can't give and take. But one has to understand CONCACAF. CONCACAF is how quickly you adapt to the environment that you're going to play in. That's the reality of it, like any football. BVI, yes, they know the size of the field. They know it's important to stay compact because they don't want to. BVI could tell you, it's not about, yeah, they're there, but it's not. BVI to me, when you watch the game, is more to prevent from getting 3 or 4 than even try and win the game. So we have to start understand what is it we need to do and when. I mean, we have to be a little bit more consistent, and the players, they have to hold themselves accountable, and they have to set standard for themselves. They have to set standard for the group.
All right, Ryan, you talked about the midfield, right? And we saw the Damian Lowe choice to go up in the midfield was a peculiar one. So normally, coach, when a team bunkers you, and you have to break the line them, and you bring the ball on the ground, right? And you don't have nothing special in midfield that individually that player can break a line by himself. So if the ball is played to that midfielder, he's able to turn, beat the defender. Now he broke the midfield line. Now he's going to the defensive line, and somebody has to leave their position in the defensive line to come and deal with him, which normally creates the space that you're looking for. And then you have a pattern of play that you would have went over in training session. How are we going to attack them once we've changed the shape of their defense? And we just didn't have that today. So there was no way.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. It's too flat when you look at the speed of play. When you look at the movements of the ball, it's static. We just moving vertical. There's no level of rotation between probably a winger and a striker and a midfielder. Now we have to understand small pitches. For me, tight spaces, the ball has to move quick. And not only move quick, but you need some level of movement to create open. And we just didn't see that today. And as I said before, I don't want to sit here. I believe and I know the team will qualify. But what I don't want to start believing is that we're waiting on better teams and then we'll play better.
Yeah, they can't do that.
I just don't want to sit and wait on that situation. I'm looking for consistency, because with consistency, we'll build a bigger fan base and we'll get more people coming on board to support the program.
So, Ryan, did you ever find out why Mother Sill was not chosen instead of Busy Anderson?
The coach said the player gone on vacation.
Oh, gone on vacation. Okay, so because I mean, he did say that he stopped them from going on vacation for the Unity Cup. See, once again, you have to have the appropriate tools in order to fix the thing. And right now, the coaching staff did not have the appropriate tools and did not give the instruction to them on how they should play. The second balls were not being won when Jamaica did go long ball, and all I saw was yellow shirts winning the first ball, and when the second ball come down, the yellow shirts winning the second ball and counter-attacking and things like that. All I saw 4 Jamaican act like 4 forwards going at the long ball in the air, all 4 of them attacking the one long ball, and when the half clearance came from BVI, nobody back there for the second ball, and BVI picked it up and started the counter-attack. So if you know who you're playing a blow lock, you don't went in these training sessions and say, listen, this is what we're going to do. We have to go direct to time. If we can't break them out, can't get behind them, can't get around them, things like that, we're going directly after them and force them to defend, force them to head balls out, force them to win the second ball. But we have to be in position to win those second ball. And that work rate, and Damon Lowe does have a high work rate when he ready for play on play. I thought he was going to be in there, working, winning them second balls and banging the ball back in or squaring it back out to the wings and things like that. So I was very disappointed in the tactics that we used and that fact that personnel that were chosen for this particular team was not. I thought it was not better thought out. What are we going to do? You cannot bring the hammer, and it's not a nails you're hammering in. Is a screwdriver you need. You understand? You have to have the appropriate tools, which is appropriate players, in order to attack a team like that. And I don't like the fact that that's American going and get up off the bench and I coach a team. It's inappropriate, man.
I wouldn't too big on it because sometimes head coaches want to sit and give assistant coaches an opportunity to coach. That's the reality of it. So I wouldn't big on Marion Garden being on the sideline giving information.
Well, it's a totality, coach. Sorry for interrupting, but it's a totality. We have seen what's going on for the last 2 years now, or even more, with the influence that certain people have, and we want a fresh start. Even with Coach McLaren, if Coach McLaren going to be the team, make him bring in his own assistants. We don't need the assistance from the last two regimes there. You understand that? Especially if we don't know if there's a conflict of interest going on, if there's appearance of one. No one's saying there is, but the appearance of it make it seems bad. Let me finish one thing, coach. So it looks like a business decisions are being made rather than the best decision for the team. Substitution, coaching, who starts, who think. If you have the coach's ear, and that's what the thing I want you to address. If you have
honestly, I would say from a playing point of view and being around the national team, I don't think it really does, because at the end of the day, you're working with a coaching staff. Now understand why the coaching staff are there. Everybody has their role and their function. At the end of the day, the head coach have the last say. Everybody pretty much bring their opinion. So I don't think it's hard and fast that a head coach wouldn't listen to the opinion of his assistant coach and see how best it fits in terms of what they're trying to do with whoever the personnel is. It would be sad to know that we have people that in the coaching staff that is influenced in certain decisions when it comes on to the selection of players. At the end of the day, if our head coaches allows that on the term that we just giving people a bounce, then it is not something that's justified, and it's something that will hurt the team in the long run. So I wouldn't sit here and think that something like that is a part of the setup. I know I've worked with assistant coaches. I value their opinion, but on the end of the day, the last say is with me in terms of the final say.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, coach. You know how valuable assistant coaches are to you. If you're a confident coach and you're not intimidated by another coach's opinion, you have the smartest coaches you can get that's going to see things that you don't see, and then come communicate through you, and then you make the changes. That's how a loyal assistant operates in a certain way to undermine the head coach. And you see this all around the world.
Yeah.
Look at the sidelines. Ryan, you see when you look at the sidelines, whether it's in the other top leagues in Europe and things like that, you see who's in the coaching box. Most of the coach, right? Yeah. And the assistant come up and tell him something and go sit back down, right? Mm-hmm. That's the proper protocol, proper etiquette on things that's to keep confidence in the head coach. When you undermine the head coach by getting up and go out there and yelling instructions, and then see the coach will come behind you, like what happened today.
I don't want to cut the coach Costa, but I'm saying I don't think it's a way of undermining. I've worked with head coach that I'm there, but he will have me stand on the touchline to pass on information. So I wouldn't see it as undermine, or it's just a matter of how the player works and what works best for the player.
All right, coach. Let me say something, coach, because I coach football 30-something years, whatever, right? But I remember I was at a high school and they needed a JV basketball coach, assistant, and I was good friends with the teacher that was the head basketball coach, right? Yeah. As the JV coach, you're also assistant on the varsity. So we're playing I'm assistant on the varsity, and a big time will come and the coach start piping, and the other assistant coach grabbed me and said, "No, you cannot talk. Only the head coach talks. If he wants to hear something, he'll point to you and say, 'You have anything to add, coach?' and things like that. There's a certain way you conduct yourself on that side.
That's what I know it go Coach Dacosta.
To keep confidence in the head coach. Right now we have doubts because man going to keep jumping up. Not just this match, previous matches, things like that. You understand that? You're giving too much leash to them. Coach the team. You're being paid to coach the team.
From my perspective, I don't think this is something that is going to undermine. I think this is the relationship himself and the head coach has.
Yeah, but it's the effect of it, though. It's still the same effect, coach.
Which I understand, but I'm saying if they have this relationship, if they think that this is what works best, then we can only sit outside and speculate. But I mean, I don't. Most head coaches now, especially older coaches, is like that. They tend to have younger coaches so they can mentor. So they will give you a little bit more of a free role to probably take charge in and out of situations. So I wouldn't see it as him being there to undermine.
But, coach, you have to
so
understand.
Coach Dacosta, hold on, man. Hold on. Because I have over nearly 300 call up wait for me. Coach, I want both of you guys think about this. Moses, big up for your donation. So Moses will say we can't keep on complaining about the pitch, right? This team will struggle to beat Guatemala on Tuesday. I want you guys, both of you, to think about this question. What is the plan going forward to beat Guatemala? Think about it. I'm going to the phone line, give you guys enough time, because I need to have the balance with the conversation, all right? Prince, welcome to the show. Good evening.
Bless up, Ryan. Big up Coach Boyz and big up Coach Dacosta. See? Ryan, we need to bury the hatchet as it relates to pitch in the CONCACAF. Isn't it because you see Jamaicans will ever find excuse for pitch this pitch that US and Mexico play in the region and US and Mexico play on the same pitches them. And when the man them both team like this, the man them do what them have to do. And them do it comfortable. You get me I say? The show no say if we bring USA to go play upon Cali Smith Drive and them a play upon the road down there, them a go do what them have to do. So we need to bury this whole pitch thing. Because we then also see superior opponent and do what they need to do. So we need to start make excuse. You get me I say? The next thing we talk about, we did have the conversation coming from Unity Cup, and we did say, here we go, the coach have to hold the same team, because not saying that Cephas is better than Gray, I'm not saying that Dixon is better than Bailey, but when we put that Unity Cup team together, for some reason it works. You see me? So you see, if we have a bill, we have to use that as something to build upon. So we come and we do this whole big resting and this whole heap of switch up and switch up. It come in like say we have a reset back the team. And by the way, when the Jamaica get the belief, say them can rest ball and all of them things there. Isn't it we are able like say we are Barcelona, we are Liverpool. We are Jamaica, you know, we don't really have no team fair rest no one. Isn't it? What we need to do, we need to put what work out there. Because that's when we get teams like DVI is good. Meaning we can get the ballers them out there and the ballers them can play comfortable. And they can bring out the instructions comfortably. You get me I say? Say when we get teams like this, we put the A team out there, when we put the A team up there, we use it and we try to give the instructions and we try to make the ball and them play how we want to play. You see, if we manage to kill off the team before second half, all we do, half time, we just sub off one heap of main man and we just try to integrate more man in the team so we can get the style of play what we want. Because it's like every time we get an easy team, we just throw someone on the field out there, we say play. But when we get the hard team, at them time the way I pick up best. But here what happen? You can't learn under pressure. Isn't it? You can't learn under pressure because when Guatemala have the ball and Guatemala run at you and Guatemala pressure you, how you will learn? You learn when you get a position like this where you can play comfortably. You get me I say? So that means when you get the tougher opponents then you that have the experience and the learning from these lower opponents, you can go there and bring out instructions. Isn't it? And the next thing, where we are going with this makeshift midfield? Because at the end of the day, the whole of this is pointless. It just assures me say that no development plan. Isn't it? Because if we say Russell, our starter, Casey, our starter, and Isaac Eden, our starter, then obviously we'd have to put in with second strings. So if we say Ravel Morrison, our second string, that means he left it on the field. If the coach have busy in a plan, that means him for the on the field. Now when you go put low on the field, like how does this benefit Jamaica? Because what? You have to play low as a midfielder in a World Cup. You have to play low when you book some tougher opponent like Costa Rica and thing there in a World Cup qualifiers later on. You're not gonna do that. So you putting in at the midfield right now is pointless. So you need to do. You see, if you select midfielders in a team, you need to start with the midfield gel from now. You can't wait till when you reach way down in a World Cup qualifiers, someone a play with someone. And at the first time I play together. No, brother, you have to start it from early, isn't it? Because you know plan to play low as a midfield when you reach later down and you play against tougher team. Isn't it? You know plan to play Damari Gray. So we know say as soon as FIFA drop form, we know where Damari Gray go. So when you put Damari Gray in the life, you know say in the future you know no plans being there. So right here, so yeah, we is development, bro, and that we are talking about continuation and development of the team, building a chemistry. Isn't it? Me sure no say Russell and Ravel could have play together today, and the two of them could have basically learn how each other play. Isn't it? Because if Ravel are the second string, say God forbid,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The coach will give
Ravel for come in, you know, Ravel for step in, you know. Isn't it? So obviously, Ravel should have been at the team and basically build that chemistry with John Russell. But when they go put Gray in there, so Gray now go play this out for the remainder of the campaign. So you like literally waste development right there. So isn't it? So every opportunity you get, you're supposed to help the team get stronger. By you telling me, say you throw out a makeshift midfield out there, that means say you're not on a plan, you're not on a development plan. You see me, not see no continuation of the team. I just straight man miss, bro. You see me?
Carla, that's 3 great points you're making now. Oh, big up yourself. The last one.
It's good
that
point.
last one.
All right, Prince, I'm going to leave you and I'm going to chop it up, yeah?
Oh, yeah, man, chop it up.
Anyway, people, I'm telling you this from now, people. I'm not going to hear 3-4 hour. I'm here from about, 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock? Like, it's incredible that we have 800 people and not even 100 likes. So, listen, if I don't get 600 likes by 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock Jamaican time, I'm out. The show I got done in the next 20 minutes. Come on, man. You guys, you have to show the support too, man. There's no way I'm here 48 minutes in the video and you guys not liking the video. A joke thing on the dip on people. It can't continue. If I don't get 600 likes, I am gone. Next 20 minutes. I'm just keeping it simple. Next 20 minutes, I'm out. If I don't get 600 likes. But anyway, coach, the caller makes some very good point. Mosey, big up yourself. Georgia girl, big up yourself. Thanks for your support and thing, alright? So
they are valuable points, and one of the most important is it's kind of heartbreaking when you not play a player and then you play a player out of position. It's kind of send a little confusing message. So I can understand what the caller is saying about if a winger is out, then more naturally you're looking for a winger to replace him. If a midfielder is out, then more naturally you're looking for a midfielder to replace him. But as I said in previous, there's different approach that coach will take based on the opponent he's playing against. I would hate to think that he was looking at players in certain position today for the Guatemala game because we don't know what Guatemala is coming with. It's just the reality of it. And then the coaching staff has to understand that the team is as good as the last game they played. Now, even to the question that the caller asked, saying that we will struggle with Guatemala. It's just a natural instinct based on the performance today. It's just natural instinct based on the performance today. If you're going to make the swap, then literally it should be position for position. Midfielder out, then we bring midfielder in. Defenders out, we bring natural defenders in. Because when you bring makeshift in, then the role and function and everything is disturbed, as we see today. And as I said, for me, performance like this get you on the edge because the game doesn't switch on like that. And if we can't dominate EVI, then hopefully we can digest this as quick as possible and start preparing for Guatemala.
So, coach, when the lineup come out, we say, okay, all right, the coach made the decision, let's see. But after the game, we say, coach, this is the continuity we need with the midfield, especially the midfield. Oh, the coach moved from north to south. The thing was, both of you guys are coach. You know the press conference. How the hell you start highly a player in a press conference? Oh, this player is important. I have this player to specific to break down this team. But yet still, you're playing other player over the player. To me, this coach is just doing like he's talking for what the fans want to hear.
Okay, but let me ask you a question, Ryan. Let me ask you. Would you call his coaching inconsistent?
Of course, I'm inconsistent.
Okay, cool. So that tells me it's more than one voice organizing thing for Jamaica. If it's one voice, that coach is going to be more consistent in his choices. You understand? Who is in his ears, chirping in his ears, tell him to play this one and this business, all these buck-ups that going on here. That's what I want to know. So when I make my charges, is for my observations that I'm seeing.
I forget it right. As your coach said, no is not the time. And that's why from the last couple of days, I say, keep the unity team, just blend and put a one look tweet and thing. No, we midfield, Isaac Hayden. I don't know what happened to Isaac Hayden. Him could be there. You're telling me that we were playing a team that not going to offer much going challenge it. You're telling me that Ravel Morrison, Casey Palmer, and me are telling the people, them are Gray should not start, bro. Keep them are Gray upon the bench. Why we are play them are Gray in the midfield? Now is the time we get Russell and all of the midfield of them. We still try to search to find position for other players in the team.
And you see this is one of the things that concern me, Ryan. When you look at the journey so far, and the amount of competition that being played, we just came from the Gold Cup. Then we move on to the Unity Cup. Now I'm saying understand where we are in terms of the campaign. This is basically the round that we have to fool around and to get things ready. If we're going to wait until we get into the final round, the final 12, to get things ready, then there's a possibility that we're setting up ourselves for problems. Now, based on that, I would like to ask the question, what were the objective for some of these tournaments? What were the objective for the 2 games in the Unity Cup? Because
I can tell you that, coach, it made money.
No, I'm not just talking about probably get receipt or so. I'm talking what's the objective the coaching staff set for the team.
Okay.
Or for their selves.
To develop their side. To develop
the situation is we're going to bring in players so we can find a final pool to move into the World Cup qualifier. We have to answer all these questions before we even play Guatemala, because after Guatemala, there's basically no room, or the margin for error is so small. Very small.
Coach, you are running yourself in problem with this. I'm telling you this. I tell you guys that from a jar the Gold Cup Guatemala, they're going to park the bus, and we are not suited to set up to fix that problem. That's one of the big problems. But let's go back to the phone line. Carla, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Bless up, Ryan. Oh, go on, my brother.
Talk to me, man. What do you think about the game?
I'm satisfied. We left there with 1 goal to Jamaica, 0 to BVI.
Mm-hmm.
So in a long while, we have another clean sheet. So let's take something positive. The only stick I would give is to management and the coaching staff. Let me explain. I don't think Steve McLaren and his team, and even the dunce back them with their Jamaica where they assistant them, do the necessary research for every single team and every single venue where they might play based on the type of athletes that they have, that they know most of them are foreign born. What is going to happen is that they haven't played one match at altitude yet with these guys. Not one. And at some point, they have to go Guatemala, which is at altitude. Then probably going to escape Mexico. They have not played on a rug carpet yet. In place, I think they did go to Nicaragua. They have a rug carpet. Honduras have a rug carpet. I think El Salvador have a rug carpet. You know what I mean by that, Ryan? The artificial turf. A lot of these people don't play on these things. So they and another thing where they haven't looked into yet is that, or maybe they did look into that. Everybody will give you your best shot, right? Even the team last night to watch Dominican Republic, I never know some of them have beat man from Spain there, even though they get beaten 4-1. But the little Caribbean team them are give them best shot, and everybody want to go World Cup. So I take this as a victory. We went there, collected the points, go home.
Okay.
That's all I see.
All right, big up yourself, Carl.
And as I said, we get the results, but it's just a performance.
Evening, Ryan.
Hold the line a little bit, Carl. Go ahead, Carl.
Yes, you see, one thing I realize, this coach is not a coach that can be trusted. I want to bring you back to the press conference when the man released the squad. Mm-hmm. And them asked about Ravel. You know what the coach said? Mm-hmm. Against EVI with a low block, we're going to need a player like Ravel who can pick a pass. Mm-hmm. I would just play BV and the man bench Ravel for the whole 90 minutes. And not only that, we never need a D-mid for the game here, Ryan. We could have started 2 box-to-box midfielder for bring up the ball. But swear the coach would make a half-time change. I'm surprised I come to the low in a game in the second half still. The coach I'm talking right thing them in a press conference about him execution. Poor during the match them, man.
Get you, understand. I agree with you. Clearly, good politician. He's a very good politician.
Him said the right thing them in a press conference because when him said that, I said, this sound like a coach, right? Yeah, man. He must study the BV team. But see him come out and do be rubbish. The starting lineup wrong. But let's hope all the best for the Guatemala game.
Guatemala game going to hard, bro, and difficult, bro.
They have a dead end stands, and I hope we can win it. I feel them need to start the same Unity Cup squad. I'm surprised your man will even get a couple minutes in this. But I know what the coach is. It's not a coach that can be just.
That's a team that play against Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Not a coach that can be trusted. But Ryan, I know it's a line busy, so I'm not even going to hold up the time. But
yeah, big up yourself, man. Carla, welcome to the show.
Yes, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Talk to me.
Hey, Ryan, I got something I got to point out. I mean, I think it was the second to the last caller went through a good analysis of the whole game. Mm-hmm. And here's something I want to add. I don't know if you noticed that because of the coach allowing us to take 1 step forward and make 3 steps backward in this game, that he himself gets confused about making the substitution. Did you notice that?
Yep.
So he was totally confused himself. He didn't know who to substitute with who, right? I heard somebody talk about undermining when the assistant coach I heard somebody talk about undermining the coach when one coach is helping. It is a coaching team. I mean, it's a coaching staff. So how can you undermine a coach if it's a coaching staff? And the field condition, that's why adjustments are made on the field. You adjust based on the condition of the field. Okay? That's all I have to say because I'm getting some feedback.
All right, blessing caller, enough respect.
And as the caller said, Ryan, that's the same thing I'm elaborating. I mean, for me, I know they get into BVI with enough time, but for the game, we just didn't make the adjustment. And in terms of the necessary adjustment, the other situation is, I mean, I find it strange, as you guys said, for a coach to go in a press conference and elaborate on a player, and then the player is not even on the pitch for 5 minutes of play. I mean, I kind of find it strange. I mean, I don't know if it's a situation with the player. I don't know if it's a coaching decision, but I kind of find it strange you come in a press conference saying that this is the player that can do a certain particular job, but yet still the player is not in the lineup. I kind of find it strange.
This coach come like a fraud over Atlanta, Georgia, because man I say one thing and then him do the opposite, which I don't know, man. I'm losing trust and I'm losing faith in this coach, man. Based on the thing them him said in the press conference and still don't go ahead and implement them. It's all about nice talk to get the fans wild up and all of this stuff, man. This coach is how can we see the game, the poor first half that we have, and second half you don't make no adjustment. You bring out Damian Lowe in the midfield said way. Where the problem him have with Ravel Morris, so him can't give Ravel a looking at the thing, a fair assessment.
Now, as I said to you, I mean, this room, this window, I mean, we have room. So as for me, I hope they look at the performance, look at what transpired in this round, because going into the final stage, I mean, the margin for error is going to be so small of a window that you have to fix everything from now going into that window.
Ryan, if I'm starting a team, first position I'm filling is goalkeeper, because everything else can go wrong. As long as the keeper and letting the goals go in, you still have a chance to get points or to go to PK or whatever. You understand it? The second one, I'm fixing the engine of my team, which is the midfielder, the one that make it go. You understand? That's my second thing I'm going for. And for them not to be able to give, if I'm presented with an opportunity to fix that, I'm taking these next matches or whatever, especially the goal. I know he wasn't selected for the Gold Cup, 60-man team, but and try to see, is this the solution? And make sure we vet it and say, okay, is it the solution or is it not the solution? That's coach. You have to have an engine in the team, you know. And then the problem I have is when the game changed, right? Coach, remember back when the central attacking midfielder was the general and everything ran through him?
Yeah.
But in the recent years, right, where did the talent go? It went to the wing.
To the wingers and the
Messi,
midfielders,
Cristiano, Mbappe, Neymar. Whatever. The talent gone to the wing now, and it's not the midfield general like we used to do, a thing like that. So it's a different kind of football going on, and it's not valued as much.
I wouldn't say different, but because one have to understand a CDM. A CDM is one of the most valuable players you can have on the field because he has to play with both offense and defense. So, I mean, gone are the days that people appreciate what CDM does for the sake of the team. And then they look more, as you said, to attacking midfielders, to wingers, and to strikers.
Yeah.
But as I said, the thing for me is that kudos to the staff and the players, but understand where we are now in the qualified staging. We can sit here and talk all we want, but if they're not fixing what need to fix, so after the Guatemala game, we are prepared for what is ahead of us, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble down the road, and that's one of my biggest concern. When I coach and I play against weaker teams, is not only the game for me. If we score and they don't score, we win the game. If they score, we have to outscore them. But the reality of it, weaker teams, I expect we to outscore them, and not only outscore them, but I mean dominate.
Yeah, my philosophy on weaker teams, because I used to be afraid of weaker teams. So the only thing can happen is injuries and bad things. You understand that? So I just put them away and go home.
It doesn't stop you from dominate.
Come out down. But your coach, your team has to be prepared to play with the energy and the style that you have, and you have to have that game plan. What I was most disappointed that our midfielders were not winning the second ball when balls were lobbed into the area or squared into the area, and there's a half clearance was the BVI players had a half clearance. Always went to a yellow shirt, like 90% of the time, a yellow shirt. And then when the players come in, they're like I said, shooting on goal is it's such a fine line, coach. And I always tell my players, if you can get power and accuracy, you should be striking on goal. But you cannot be so locked in that you force it. You understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes the defenders are in good position and the goalkeepers in good position, and you have to be aware. So when Mario Williams didn't square that ball, Leon Bailey, who was wide open in the middle right there, at the top of the 6-yard box. Those are the things that I was showing the film and say, when you're playing for the national team, we have to convert this goal right here. The other one was when Dixon with the toe poke. I was like, Dixon, look right here. You had people inside. This look at the toe poke is not going to beat anybody. I said, it's not going to beat the keeper. He went right to the keeper, and the keeper scooped it up and then went the other way. That's what's called wasted opportunities. You have to be like Romario when Romario hit the post, right? Yes, excellent strike. DeMario Gray turned it over. Romario Williams stole it right back, rolled the ball with his right foot, and then baked it with his left foot. And it's a shame it didn't go in.
Yeah, those for me, as you said, those are valuable in terms of the game, because that is visually, that they can clip and watch back in a visual session. How much of that they do, I just don't know. But it would be good if they can sit and watch this game and assess it and realize that we have to make the adjustment early. Everybody knows from day one the type of surface we got playing in BV.
Their surface is not. Both teams are playing on the same surface. And them can't move the ball. We should be able to move the ball. And coach, it comes down to philosophy too, Why am I gonna bend up myself and bend up my team sometimes, right? When I say, listen, they're gonna have to stop me, and I'm going at them with what we do best, regardless of what their formation, what they're playing. And you understand that? Two different.
That basically boils down to the objective. This is the objective. We're gonna destroy them.
Yes.
We're gonna tear them apart within 25 minutes.
So you can play good. What I want to say, you can play your normal style and things, or you can tailor your game, your attack, each individual to whom you're playing, and that has merit. But you know what? Some people, me not care. We're going with our strength no matter what.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it, and they're weaker opponents, so let's destroy them, because we know they're gonna sit in a low block, try to catch us on a counter. So how can we overload? But as I said, this game for me, the coaching staff, players, they have to look at this game and realize, because one, pride, and not only pride, but in order to get back to the second World Cup, it's going to take a level of consistency that we just not seen. A lot of people will blame the influx of players that we bring in, but when you look at the pool, most of these players have been in the pool for some time now. So there's got to be something that we have to look at. I don't want to sit there, as I said before, and believe that, we're going to play Guatemala Tuesday, so we're going to lift the game. For me, as a player and as a coach, it just doesn't work like that.
Coach, you in Jamaica, what is this dynamic that Jamaicans, once them have them they are fans of a certain player. No matter the player go good, bad, they still support the player. And it's not an objective analysis of saying, okay, this is the best player for this match and things like that for Jamaican national team.
Nothing wrong with you supporting a player, but the reality of it, give credit where credit is due, and where there's room to critique, And positive criticism will make a player better. If I'm playing and I'm not playing well and you're telling me I'm playing well, I'm going to believe that. And I might feel that. So we have to understand. And one of the situations is, and they will have to ask the question, are most of the players earning their keep? It's just the reality of it. Because when you look at, when I watch this performance today, now, how is it we put together the next group now to face Guatemala? Who in this game today can you say earn the keep? So we can start you in the Guatemala game or even play you for 5 minutes. You see? So those are some of the factors. How many players are we putting out that earning their keep?
Well, coach, it also comes down to the system of play. We as Jamaicans, we don't have our own system of play. It's always a mashup. It's always this and that, and everybody not on the same page. And I've been saying, go ahead, coach.
What I will say with that is that I mean, most of the players are majority players. Based on the modern game now, most players will tell you that at some point in time they're playing a 4-3-3 system. You see what happened? Some might tell you, and I know the guys from England, they can easily relate to a 4-4-2. When you look at the role and the function, there's not much in terms of difference or shift off to probably move from a 4-4-2 to a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3. You see?
Because I've always said, I'd rather Jamaica play the English system than no system. You understand? Because at least the English players already know. I see them week in and week out play defense, midfield, attack, the patterns of play, how to break when they're in the attacking third, and then the ball on the wing, how to break it down and cross. I see them do it every week. All we have to do is integrate the Jamaican players within that system. And I'm saying
if majority of the players, that's the system and the style of play that they are accustomed to.
Yes.
It can only be the situation that we move to that, because now it's an easier system that the bulk of the players understand in terms of the role and the function, both in possession and out of possession. I mean, there's a lot of factors that need to look at. My concern is just that going into the Guatemala match and after the Guatemala match, we don't have the room to now be thinking what is it we should be doing. No, we should by now know what we're doing, and that's the thing that I'm not seeing in terms of the pool of player we have. How is it we utilizes them in the different position and the role and the function? We're not seeing that true to form. I mean, as the caller said, we're moving midfielders.
Let me ask you one question. Coach, let me ask you a question. Would you Frankenstein your team now? You have DeBarger out of position. You got Damien Lowe out of position. And I saw Lemba Kesey in the central midfield the whole second half. Did you notice that?
I know. There's like 4 or 5 players that we play out of position today. And that's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
What was the objective of the game?
Yes.
What was it we're looking for from the game? Now, I can understand if they said, you know what? We are short on some players. We're looking at a few players, and we're looking at players in different positions, because sometimes coaches tend to do that. So instead of pulling up Coach DeCosta, I might pull out somebody else and ask Coach DeCosta to go and play that position in terms of a different rotation with the players. So I can understand that. But I just don't understand what is the objective, because where we sit, and a lot of people will say, yeah, we leave BVI with 1 goal, 3 points, which is good. But the reality of it, we're still sitting second in the table. How important does the coaching staff understand winning the group and going in the next round as one of the seeded team?
Yeah.
It is very important in terms of how they're going to structure the whole schedule in terms of their home and away.
Coach, one of the things my philosophy is I always try to set players up to be successful and not to fail. When you play players out of position, out of their natural play they've been playing for most of their career, you're setting up to fail most of the time, unless it's a specific, like you said, it's a specific reason why you're doing it. This is why I'm playing it, and it can be saw. Oh, that's why I'm playing this player right here.
And that's why I told you I'm waiting to hear the after game press conference.
Yeah,
because probably during that they will shed a light in terms of this was the main focus in terms of going into the game, because clearly there has to be something.
Carla, welcome to the show. Kaka, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, to have me again, once again. Massive respect goes out to the two panelists, Coach DaCosta,
yes, sir,
and the other coach is a very good analysis of the game, and he knows what he's talking about. And for a young one like me, it's very, very good to listen to him and learn from both Coach DaCosta and the other coach. Well, Ryan, let me start. How would you like me to voice my displeasure, vigorously or gently?
I wouldn't want to censor nobody, but just be careful. Don't go over the top and keep it clean. Just keep it clean.
I would say avoid it vigorously, because we still have one more game, and we're basically in the last stages of the play.
Go ahead, Kaka.
Okay. I can't hear them in the rain. I don't know why. They sound very low, but...
Okay.
Okay, let me go ahead and voice my displeasure.
Okay.
I got one question. I got a couple questions for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got a question for you, Ryan, because I need you to speak. I want to know how you feel. I want to know how... I want you to have that passion. I want you to take off the belt and start to get it activated. Because we are sleeping and we look lustered and lethargic. Other words, we look lazy and incompassionate. So, I have one question for you. What are your true thoughts about the coach as a tactical coach?
It left him. We go for a coach retire, brother. He left him. You want me know how it left him?
Right.
He's saying the right thing in the press conference, but when he's going to the football pitch, he's doing the opposite. So, that telling me that the coaches want to let the fans know. Telling the fans the right thing, what the fans want to hear, but he go and do the opposite. I don't think this coach is doing us a favor. Trust me. This coach, I'm losing trust every single day I hear this coach. And what the man come do today with the lineup, after we have such a brilliant tournament, and we say let us build upon this, and the coach come and put Damian Lowe. Oh my God, this coach.
You know who you remind me of? He have some knowledge of Al Grimson syndrome. This coach has some Al Grimson syndrome. You're telling me that you see, Ryan, when I see that 4 midfielder selection for the Gold Cup, you know what first thing come to my mind? What that tells you? This coach has some alternative thinking about playing Nanalo and Latibo there in the midfield, intrude them in the midfield. Because in no way you have so many midfielders that you could have chose from the 60-man provisional squad, and you choose 4. That tell me, okay, you're trying to work something, and just because you know that today's game is not a big opposition we're going up against, you're going to use Damian Lowe in the midfield. Damian Lowe has no distributional technical skills, bro. So how are you going to play Damian Lowe in a midfield that was so good in the Unity Cup, and we need the cohesion? Why did you play a 3-5-2? Why? We don't need to try new things. Right now we need to build with the 4-3-3. I didn't have a problem with the selection. I didn't have a problem with the player selection, because I know that, okay, the pitch was bad. That was a major factor of the selection. I know that. And we want to reserve some some of our best players. I know that. But where are you going with the 3-5-2? They're going to look confused. This coach is a roach. This coach is a roach.
Oh, God.
This coach is a roach. You're telling me which coach in this world going to play a good formation that has success previous 2 weeks ago and come now with a 3-5-2 to try to better the team? Which coach in heaven gonna do that? Because you don't live on earth. Because him have amnesia, you know. You know this coach have amnesia.
I think
This coach start good things about Ravel Morrison. He said Ravel is a good player. He know how to pick the game. We need Ravel. He talks so good about Ravel and didn't play him at all today. This coach is not the man for the job, and I'm the first one going to say it. I have the balls to come and say it. He's not a lead-off man. He's not a lead-off man because he met Mikel Antonio back him up in the wall and say, better pick me. From that, me lose off of him. This coach is not a lead-off man. So now, we come up against a BVI team that's struggling and we can't win convincingly. Me not say we win by step or 8 or 9. Because me not delusional. But win convincingly and play some good football. And that's all we ask for Coach McCleary. Why? The team look lethargic today. Very lackluster today. Very lazy. No speed of playing. No identity.
No intensity, nothing. This to me is a...
Hey Ryan, I cannot hear the panelists, Ryan.
I don't know why you're not here, but it's crazy. But I agree with 90% of the stuff that you said. Like, I don't know how we get back here after that big, such a wonderful feeling about the team. And we say, yes, right, coach, we're going to build on this, Bridging. But the man stink up the place. Yes, Warner Brown come in and score, and Gray come in and have the assist and stuff. But what we were saying, bro, just continue with the thing, no, Bridging. Let's continue and let us say, okay, all right, it never worked. We need to go back to the drawing board. But the man do a totally different thing. Dexter can ever control the ball without having to invite pressure on him at right back, much less put him in the midfield. It's crazy. It's crazy. And bro, God, if you're watching me, I beg you, please put in a law down at Jamaica for these bad coach. Put in a law when they do these things to impact the national program going forward to make it better. Some of them man need to get jail time, bro. Some of them man need to get at least 18 months behind bars. And I'm talking about behind bars with coaching, education in the thing, rehabilitate these people with the footballing. Yes, we need to bring in a law down at Jamaica where these men spend at least 18 months in jail because these are criminal offense. The man laugh. No, seriously, bro, because the man them just spoil up with look how we are say, yo, this is how we want for play, this is how we want to move the ball. But when we come to the everything it's crazy.
You know, Ryan, Marion God have a major influence on this team.
Jesus.
He has a major influence on this team, I feel like, you know. And I feel like the coach doesn't know what his identity is as yet. We play over 8 matches with the coach. Hey, I tell me, coach, you can't develop a playing style. We look so well in the Unity Cup. I gave you credit for that. For a small amount of time, we come up in a difficult time period and we play so well. We put the team together so greatly. And now you're gonna play a 3-5-2. You make the players look bad. I mean, I blame the players today. I know that the players should have put out some more passion. But the coach is the one to be a leader.
Yeah, yes.
And he's not being a leader.
Yeah, the coaching staff has to take
See, Fast didn't have a good game today. We can't blame him because they put him out in possession. Damari Gray, okay, yes, Damari Gray come up with assist, but we didn't see the vertical movement of them going forward and on the wing versus the match versus Trinidad. We didn't see none of that today. So now you're telling me, Ryan, I don't 100% think we're gonna beat Guatemala at home because this coach going at the game today and I try something new when we are gonna win convincingly today. We should have gone into the game saying, okay, boys, we are a plethora amount of goal behind Guatemala, so we need to go and score. We need to win convincingly today. We need to make some damage.
Get some confidence back.
Yes, bro. How can we go against BVM and win 1-0?
People
That's mind blowing, bro. I'm lucky saying just. We need to start to lock up some of this coach. We need to start to lock up on some of this coach. For them a ball for money. We need to start to lock them up.
Yo, Kaka, look later. Alright, sir. Yo, brother. No, sir. No, sir. Yo.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know. And we did.
We need to start to lock up some of them coaches. Lock them up because of bad coaching in Jamaica. We need to bring in a law for that. We need to start lock up some of them coaches about them a coach. I'm a roach. Them only have whistle. Them not teach you them nothing. Nothing. And a ball about money. What wrong with
as I said before, Ryan, the coach has to take responsibility, man, for real. And the players also for this performance. Because it doesn't look good going into the next game. But I hope they can put it aside quickly and analyze it and make the necessary adjustment to improve in the next game. But it's kind of sad. I mean, I've never seen for a long while a team with a level of talent in terms of the players. One, play so slow. Two, just merely no intensity. And there has to be some pride at stake. But as I said, going into the next game, we have to start looking at what is it we want and the objective going into the final round of the qualification, and that's only to get into the World Cup for 2026. So I think we still have a bit of room, and we still have one more game in the Guatemala game to experiment, and that is if we don't want to finish on top of the group, so we can be seeded. Hopefully, that's not the thought and the imagination of the coaching staff, Coach DeCosta. Hopefully that's not the thinking. Hopefully the thinking is to beat Guatemala and to get into the next round as a seeded team, so it can help us in terms of the scheduling based on the home and away game. Because one of the things is, for me, I would love us to get into the next room in the next round is to have the first game playing at home, and so the team doesn't have to travel out to play that first game in the next round, which is very crucial in order to get off to a good start and get 3 points on the board as early as possible. But as I said, kudos, and players, coaching staff has to take responsibility for this performance. I mean, it's kind of very, very sad, and it left a sad taste in the mouth of the spectator. But hopefully, come Guatemala, they can forget this one and turn it around quickly, because the fans are needing that. We are needing that. We are looking for that. And not only to boast or to brag, but to build and to show a level of confidence that will definitely make it to the World Cup. And so far, we are not really seeing that. I mean, it's too small of a window, as I said, in terms of coming in from the Unity Cup and coming in back into the World Cup qualifier stage, and it's like a big turnaround. I mean, it doesn't say much, and it doesn't look good in terms of going into the final stages of qualifying. But as I said, we have to look at all the factors and try to get them right. I mean, probably before Guatemala or even after Guatemala, all the factors have to be fixed going into the final stage, because if not, then we can run ourselves into disaster as we see time and time before. So hopefully they will do that. Don't know how much of this game they will sit and watch and analyze, but I think they need to do that, to watch back the performance of this game and analyze it, so as to better prepare themselves for Guatemala come on Tuesday.
You know what, Coach? Well, I remember a lot of people said, do the same starting lineup that in the Unity Cup. And I was like, no, make the coach do what he feels necessary. And sometimes, you know what? In hindsight, if you're building something, you have to have consistency. And it's, at some point, somebody locked down a position, that's their position to lose until somebody's better and things like that. And go in that direction rather than this.
And that's why I said, I mean, watching the team, how much of the players really are earning and keeping in terms of their spot on the team, or their spot in the squad, or their spot in the pool of players. Because when you look at what you see in the Unity Cup as to compare to what you see today, I mean, one must ask the question. And as I said, it's very critical, it's very crucial, because now we're basically going into the final stage. As weak as we think some of those teams are in the final stage, it's not going to be any room. I guarantee you. The margin for mistakes is going to be so small, and we have to realize that.
Yeah, the margin for error, we've gotten rid of, because, like I said, this Frankenstein lineup that it come where you have at least 3 players out of position, and to force for what? What is the agenda behind it? That's why I cast doubt on it, coach. If you are the coach of this team and you gonna pick your team and go and live or die by it, when you have other influences on there, that's what I'm worried about. Why you force Damari Gray to play a position out of position? Either Cephas or Damari Gray. Catch up to your courage, coach. Either Liam Bailey or Dixon. Catch up to your courage.
Yeah.
Either, in the midfield, no. Ravel or whoever, Casey Palmer, whoever, Russell, whomever you want, just make sure, Hayden, catch up to your courage, be true to your convictions, and pick the best 11 you think will make it. You can grow as a unit.
The reality of it is if you look at the situation, if you go Dixon for Leon Bailey, that's automatically a natural swap.
Yeah.
Because this is where both players are accustomed to playing. You see, if you go Cephas for Gray or Gray for Cephas, it's the same thing. Now, when you get to the point now, and I'm not knocking any of the players, because I don't think they make the decision in terms of the play where they play. Now, understand, as much as people will say Damian Lowe, I've watched Damian Lowe play a center midfield and play a good game in Canada. So there's no problem playing him there. But on what basis? That's the question I'm trying to figure out. On what basis do we swap Damian Lowe to bring him to play a CDM when naturally we have people that we call in as midfield? And to start with, to call four midfielders in any squad, there's already the possibility that somebody has to move around. And looking at the roster for the squad, then you will see that he is the one. In terms of if we're going to ask a defender to step inside the midfield, it's going to be him, because as I said, I saw him play a good game in Canada, and a couple of good games playing there. But as I said, we have one more for experiment, and based on the experiment, it's a matter of where we want to finish, whether we want to finish second in the group or first in the group. But we just don't have the room now for any more experiment.
It's a similar type team, but much more lethal on the counter attack. Guatemala. But the one thing is though, they're not physically, they can't run past us. So I mean,
Guatemala for me is not they based on where they sit. Guatemala already know that one, they're on top of the group by goal average. So it's gonna be the same case like a BV. Can we sit in a low block and then can we catch them on the counter? Because for them, in order to top the group and move as a seeded team, they just need not to lose the game.
Yeah.
And the only way to lose the game, unless they allow Jamaica to concede on them. So they are now in a much better position than us in terms of the turnaround. Now, as I said, how quickly we digest this game today and the performance and start preparing for the next game, then it's going to be a very, very, very important. I mean, I would differ to know that the team, I would differ to think that the team wouldn't get out tonight or tomorrow early so that they can get into Jamaica and start looking at the Guatemala game, because it's going to be very, 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 it's going to be the maker or the breaker in terms of convincing people, hey, we'll be at the World Cup. We'll do well in the final stage.
Coach, I don't know where Ryan gone on them bed again, but I want a lot of people. I'm reading the chat section here and the comment section, and we're talking football in the people. It's not life and death. It's a child's game played by adults. So we're talking football and tactics and who we should have played, who we not played. So let's calm it down a little bit. We're just talking tactics here. Like I said, if I disagree with the coach's tactics to play certain players out of position, because I still don't know why Dexter Lembakisa was in the midfield. I don't know why Damari Gray was out of position. I don't know why Damon Lowe was up. It just seems very odd to me. Put your strongest team on and go forward with it and build and then start to choose the best players. I don't know why we have to do this. Every day we have to try to make this Frankenstein monster of a lineup.
No, and then as some people say in the chat, probably it's a bit of disguise. So Guatemala doesn't scout us from a tactical point of view. But as I said, I'm yet to hear the after-game press conference to hear what was the objective. I mean, it can't be that. Coaches from time to time tend to do that, change around the lineup, not to give the following up opponent team.
Yeah, but
scout them.
Guatemala is going to be the exact opposite of us. They're going to be unselfish and share that ball on their counterattack and set themselves up. And they know they can't run past Jamaican defenders and they're not supposed to. So they're going to tiki-taka us to death. And it's going to be just 1,000 cuts by them short passes. And Jamaica has to be ready for that.
I see somebody put in the chat that the FIFA ranking will seed the teams.
Yeah, they've said that's a FIFA ranking. So
yeah, if it's based on the FIFA ranking, then I think we should be in good standing. Going in as a seeded team regardless.
But some of the people that we just want Jamaica to do better and do things the right way.
Yeah, that's just the reality of it. I mean, we're not here to bash, we're not here to put down anybody, but to see our best.
But coach, I've been in situations, man, where coaches have to have a hierarchy, and you have to, when I look at the videos of the behind the scenes and the training sessions, I have seen McLaren coaching team, but most of the time it is the assistants coaching. There's nothing wrong with a CEO head coach, coach.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong if you want to have a CEO head coach that, but the assistants have to be on top of their things. I remember pointing out when we played USA, and the USA is making substitution, defensive substitution, defensive coach are getting the final instruction with the board. Yeah. And then when they're making an offensive substitution,
do it.
Yeah, the offensive coach is doing it, and so nothing wrong with that now. But we have that luxury. We don't have that. Jamaica, we are being paid. You need to coach the team. We want your philosophy in permeating the team. And we can't have somebody else with the word undermine it. They don't understand that sometimes, if a coaching philosophies are not on par, you can send a mixed message to the player them and the ball of them and things like that. You wanted one message. We do this. This is what we do as a football team. Good football teams this, and that's what I want my good players do this, and this in this situation. And that's how I want to play. But coach, I'm getting tired here. I don't know where Ryan gone.
Yeah, I think Ryan probably gone for a little break. But as I said, my key factor is I'm not knocking them. I'm just a little bit disappointed with the performance. We regardless of all the factors that we know, realizing players playing out of position, players this, players that, the surface, the weather. But as I said, the key factor, we have Guatemala, and base what happened in the Guatemala game, we'll probably still move on to the final stages. But that's where, as I said before, the margin for error.
Coach, yeah, I see somebody, Kevin Malcolm, he said, Da Costa is the main coach hater. Constructive criticism is part of sports. Coach came up with a lineup, and it didn't work for the most part. You understand that? He put players out of position, so he's opened himself to criticism. And he said things in his press conference before that he didn't hold true to during the matches. That's all it is. Nobody's hating on him. You're being paid to be the national team coach for Jamaica. We want you to coach the team. So, So, coach, what are you about to do? Because I'm about to sign off here. Ryan, gone on them bed, like him used to love to say.
I think he's a little bit disappointed in the performance, like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, the good factor is that we get the results, and how quickly we analyze and make the proper adjustment going into the Guatemala game will be of very important. How quickly we get back into Jamaica and start preparing will be of very important. So we're looking forward to that. And then I think watching the game, analyzing it, I think Tuesday, most definitely the team will have to give a better account of themselves and a more intense performance, and not let me believe in that we will play well when we play against the better teams. I mean, there has to be and that's where a lot of people is coming from based on what they see in the Unity Cup. I think the Unity Cup was you could see a level of consistency.
Them fool me, man, because I thought I thought they finally started to build something. And that's what I wanted to see, something being built, coach. We're going forward with the thing. And every match we get a little better, more cohesion, more play together better, thing like that. I don't want to come to this game like today and just dash everything out the window and come up with a different lineup. Geez. Anyway.
I can understand it, but they can understand that it can only go to a point. I mean, hopefully, based on what they're looking for, what they're looking at, they will basically see everything and come to a conclusion by the time the game against Guatemala. So going into the final stage, we already know what is it, where is it, and why is it. So we can take care of business, and that's just something that's going to be very crucial going into that large stage, in the last stage of the qualifier. So I a little bit of give and take because we have room. But I mean, going into Guatemala game and the next round, then we should definitely know in terms of what direction, what players, who play where, when, and why. So we don't have to go through this situation again. Hopefully, we can learn from today and learn from the past games that we played so far. But for me, it has to be a level of consistency, and I think that's what everybody is disappointed with. To see a good runoff in terms of the game against Trinidad, the game against Nigeria in England, and then to see a huge turnaround like this. But Not making any excuse, but we just hopefully we can get it right for the final stage of the qualifier and get into the World Cup. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
All right, Coach Johnson, I'm going to sign off here right now. It's been an honor and a pleasure talking with you. You're one of the more brilliant minds on the island, and we need to take advantage of that. Don't listen to them. We need to take advantage of all our minds, because the brain drain that has gone on in Jamaica is something else. We want to make sure that we keep our...
What a young boy we can ball for tired someone. Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ.
Right,
what I'm on this tiredness, man. Anyway, people, Coach DaCosta and Coach Boris, it's a pleasure speaking to you guys. Honestly, I was cooking up some food and thing. Almost done still. Some lean turkey, lean chicken, and you know, some real good carbs. Eh?
Coach, that's a chef of the future, that Coach Boris.
Yeah. So I was cooking. Cause me tell you this from doing YouTube, especially the whole day, it can make you go into eating bad stuff where you don't want to put into your body. So
yeah,
I'm a man who want to have the right food. So
yeah, nutrition is important.
Yeah. So what me I do, people? Me I cook, people, and after me done cook, me I go do some exercise for about an hour, eat some food, and then forward back look later. So look out for you in the evening, alright, people? So when you go take on yourself, take a look walk, move from the TV, move from the computer, take a look walk. If you have to get a smoke, take a smoke. If you have to take a look walk, Moses go take a walk, exercise, free in the brain, come back. We are going to analyze the game and we are going to look ahead. See a lot of you guys calling, but look later. Alright? 7:30 Jamaican time, 8:30 Eastern time. So big up on yourself, people. Coach last saying, Boris last saying before they took off.
For me, it's just a matter of the game is over now. I mean, we got the result. The performance wasn't one that we had expected. But I think it's time now we get that behind us. It's just a matter of how quickly we get back into Jamaica, how quickly we get back the players, start recovering, and focus on Guatemala and going forward. Thanks for the viewers, thanks for the listeners, wherever you are out there in the world. Be safe, continue to tune in, and as we always say, love is in the house.
Yes, man. Blessing. Coach, over to you. Last say.
Hey, once again, thank everybody out there in the Reggae Boys community. Once again, we all love the Reggae Boys and Reggae Girls, and we want to see them do better. So a little constructive criticism has never hurt anybody. And a big grown people we are talking about, you know, big professionals who've been paid a lot to play a child's game, okay? So everybody be easy about it. Let's see what they come with on Tuesday. And if they do well, we congratulate them. If they do some buck-ups, we come beat them. But that's part of sports, and nobody can ever get past that. Sports are like that. The wins, the highs and the lows of the wins and the losses. So once again, Boris, thank you, sir. It was a pleasure.
Thank you to DaCosta.
All right.
Thank you to Ryan.
Bless, man. Paper, big up on yourself. I'm out. All right? Blessings, man. Appreciate all of you guys doing in the comment section. See? I'm out.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know, and we did.
Winning.
As the saying goes, ugly loss is better than a pretty win, you know, and we did.
Winning toss.
Now you all realize though that Coach Topper Whitmore defined the season.
It's like a lady pregnant for 9 months. So we at Mount Pleasant now. We're waiting on the delivery date. And the delivery date is May 23rd.
Well, Topper, the baby born Friday night. But guess what? Coach Whitmore, you are not the father.